We're going to move on to Newcastle next, who are now up into fourth, which changes everything, doesn't it? They beat, obviously, Manchester United pretty convincingly 4-1 today as we record. And yeah, it's a pretty miserable game for United fans because there were so many errors, but they were clinical, Newcastle, to their credit, weren't they, Myles? And they've got players like Harvey Barnes coming in and playing so well and finishing so brilliantly. And that midfield looks really, really strong. And they've got that extra game in hand, which, with form taken into account, looks like it could really give them that momentum to cement third place, if not any higher than that. You know, that's an incredible achievement for Newcastle, isn't it? And they look like, probably, I guess with Villa, who we'll come to in a moment, the team with the best form right now.
Yeah, and it's funny because you think back to when Guardiola first came to England, he always talked about how the League Cup was such an important thing because it was like getting that silverware early in the season gives you the confidence for the run-in, and it feels like we're seeing that with Newcastle now. Like, the whole city is lifted by that trophy. So now that they're kind of back in the conversation so firmly, because there was a period, was it probably around Christmas, where we were saying, yeah, Newcastle, they look really dangerous. Then they fell off a little bit and kind of lost the kind of momentum we thought they'd picked up. And now they're right back in it again. I mean, a win against Palace midweek and they're third. That's a huge turnaround for them. And you have to say, as long as they keep everyone fit and they don't lose Isak for the rest of the season, or Tonali doesn't get a long injury for the rest of the season, they look favourites to me. They look like the best side in that race now. I mean, they tore you guys apart today, that second half. Yeah. I mean, you definitely helped them out. There was definitely a bit of a charity element to United's defending. But generally speaking, Newcastle have been so clinical in those moments, and that's why they managed to secure themselves a trophy, and it's probably why they'll secure probably third, if not fourth, in the league, really.
It looks huge, though, that game against Villa, doesn't it, on the 19th? That and the Arsenal game as well. Not that Arsenal have got much to play for either, but again, we don't know if they're going to get any worse in the league. But yeah, that game against Villa looks huge coming up, doesn't it?
They got Chelsea as well, which is another big one. Like, Newcastle's fixtures are a very odd mix because you don't know what to expect from Crystal Palace because they've been in excellent form themselves. You saw them against City this weekend take a 2-0 lead and then kind of terrible defending handed it back to City, which is frustrating. But they could be there as a real test for Newcastle. Only Arsenal have won at Villa Park in the league this year, so they've still got that journey to make as well. I mean, they've got a pretty good record against us recently, so I'm not sure they'll be too worried about it. But then Brighton and Chelsea as well, and Arsenal. They're not easy fixtures for Newcastle, but you wouldn't put it past them. So
not easy fixtures, no. I mean, I think that's the thing. It's such an unknown.
Favourites. I think even in the last game of the season, it's going to be very unpredictable if it comes to that last game because you don't know what you're going to get at Man United at Old Trafford. Forest obviously still got to play Chelsea, and then Newcastle have got Everton. If Everton have only lost since David Moyes has come back, they've only lost to Liverpool in the top 6. So they're not going to be any pushovers either.
I think it's the squad of Newcastle's. Like you say, Myles, if it stays fit, they're probably one of the best quality squads in contention. And they have won a trophy as well. So they've kind of got the bit between their teeth. And I think for me, that makes Newcastle probably one of the favourites to finish, maybe third, in my opinion. And we'll talk about the final lineups of the teams later on. But Dave, what did you think of Newcastle's performance in the United game? Try and put aside your United lens for a moment and look at it from a Newcastle United perspective. What did you think to their clinical edge, I guess?
I think they just overpowered United. I think that front three caused them a lot of problems. And Jacob Murphy and Isak, Harvey Barnes, I think they've done admirably quite well, considering you look at the last few weeks. A lot of the energy they've put into some of these matches, obviously off the back of the cup final as well, really just overpowered them in terms of their physical, stature and the intensity that they showed pressing United, and it forced them into mistakes. I mean, it's not alien to this team, is it? We've seen some of the mistakes made over the last few weeks. United, what's cost them, but this is a Newcastle side that have shown this season that on the day against even the best sides in the league, they're capable of overpowering any team in the league. And obviously that first goal was outstanding, I thought, from the pass from Isak and Tonali. It's top technique to really just drill that perfectly, and the power he gets on it. Binder's got absolutely no chance. So I don't know if we learnt a lot that we didn't already know about this Newcastle team. I think what they've shown since the cup final, there's not been any hangover from that They've been showing the same consistency that they've had in the large part of the season. And like what we've been saying the last 2 or 3 weeks, they're probably one of the favourites really to be getting Champions League. I'd be very surprised if they didn't, to be honest. I think it's going to be a massive game against Villa, isn't it? That could really be a season decider. So
I think so. I think that's the game where we will probably have a different assessment of how this race looks once that's been played. But yeah, Newcastle looking very strong.